TV's Kamil Karamali is standing by with more for us. So good morning to you, Kamil. First of all, tell us about the agreement for flight attendants.
Yeah, so we are learning details. Now, it's worth noting QP, and the union, and Air Canada have not released details publicly, but several sources are leaking information to media outlets, including to CTV News. So we are learning that for the contentious issue of ground pay, so as it stood in the previous agreement, flight attendants were not paid for the work they did on the ground, just when the plane was up in the air. So now what they have seen in this tentative agreement is 50% ground pay for the first hour. So all those responsibilities of boarding and deplaning will be paid 50% for the first hour, and 4 years from now, towards the tail end of the contract, it will jump up to 75%. We're also hearing details of the salary in terms of a 12% pay bump right away for those who have worked for Air Canada over 5 years, and an 8% bump for those who have worked longer than that. Salaries also increase 3% in the second year, 2.5% in the third year, and 2.75% in the fourth year. Once again, this is just according to sources that are releasing information to several media outlets as well. So that is the details on the contract so far.
Okay, and what can you tell us about the process for getting a refund?
Yeah, absolutely. And so what we know is that that has been a very difficult task, Marcia, for a lot of people. And you can imagine more than half a million or so have been affected by this strike as well. And so what we have heard is that although Air Canada is singing one tune, passengers are saying that it's not as simple as that. So Air Canada has said to go through the proper channels in terms of calling and going through their online portal as well, but and what they're offering is a full refund on flights. But we've heard from several passengers who were deeply affected by this, including people who, for example, had to miss their own wedding in Mexico, were affected by this, even though their guests were already waiting for them in Mexico. Air Canada is offering them, for example, a full refund on the flights that they weren't able to get on. But as you can imagine, a ripple effect on hotels, excursions, and other expenses that won't be refunded. So a lot of back and forth happening in terms of passengers trying to get more compensated. We know that airline experts have said that you should be compensated for other forms of transportation at the very least. So if you weren't able to get a flight and had to take a train or other modes of transportation, that should be reimbursed. But obviously might be a contentious issue with what Air Canada is offering.
All right, Kamil, thank you for that.